Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share you about my study, which is the topic is oral language skill of primary school student to support multiliteracy learning in the digital era. I'll begin by sharing the introduction. In introduction, there are 3 points. First, the importance of oral language skill in the digital era. We know that all of our students every day always use like a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and snack video on their smartphone. This activity always use speaking and listening ability. And then second, about multiliteracy learning. Along with the time, literacy learning has developed into multiliteracy learning. In language multiliteracy is the ability to speak with context, culture, and media. The basic of language multiliteracy is the four language skill, namely a reading, writing, speaking, and listening skill. Multiliteracy learning use multimedia, multi-context, image, graphic, audio, video, and other interactive media. And then the third in the introduction is about the exploration of student oral language skill. I would like to turn to the research question. There are two research questions. First is about oral language skill of elementary school student in the digital era, and then oral language learning in the digital era to support multiliteracy learning. Let's move on to the method. I use case study design. This research was conducted at SDN 2 KATES Kauman, Subdistrict Tulungagung Regency with 26 fourth grade students as data source. Data in case study research is collected through several collection techniques in the form of questionnaires, observation, and interviews. Now, the result. I would like to illustrate this point by showing this table. Before we know the oral language skill and the learning of the oral language, I want to know the indicators of digital literacy competence. Digital literacy is one of the indicators in multi-literacy learning. The result is show that uh, internet search, the achievement is 71%, the description is good. And then use of directional guidance, information content evaluation, and knowledge building, the three of indicator of digital literacy competence, the description is less. Students are able to access the internet. Students know the internet through smartphone device owned at home. Applications that are often accessed are YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snack Video, and YouTube for entertainment aspect. Only a few students access the internet, namely Google for learning resource. And then the percentage of application accessed by student, TikTok is the most application that the student often access. Through the show, they watch. Students recount the content of the shows at school during recess or class time. The type of show viewed are short drama, word of advice, food review videos, other content that is entertainment in nature. The content that students see will be taught to their friends in non-formal situation. If they are asked to speak in public, they tend to keep quiet and smile. However, if they are asked to talk quietly, whispering with his friend, they will talk to their friends or people around them. Students also easily comment on everything in non-formal situation. But if asked to make comment in public, only a few students can express them. In accordance with this, it can be stated that the speaking ability passed by our student is non-formal speaking ability. The last on the result of oral language learning, speaking skill need to be stimulated by student by using learning models that involve more speaking skill. Through mastering speaking skills, students will be able to express their thought and feeling intelligently according to the context and situation when speaking. The learning of oral language skill that teachers do is conveying speaking theories. For example, in learning speech materials, students are treated two types of speech that are native speeches, argumentation speeches, description speeches, and persuasion speeches. The step of making a speech determine the topic, finding supporting materials, preparing the script, and the method of making a speech, namely the tech methods, memories method. This cannot help students to do and practice in practicing oral speaking. Let's move on to the discussion. Oral language skill consists of listening and speaking skills. Listening and speaking skill are closely related and reciprocal. Listeners and speakers can switch role spontaneously, namely from listener to speaker and from speakers to listeners. Student oral language skills are becoming increasingly important in the digital era. This is because technology and communication have developed rapidly and not followed by the stimulation of existing reading skill. Good speaking skills can help students build effective interpersonal relationships both in personal and social contexts. And then learning oral language skills should be done collaboratively both inside and outside the classroom. Good oral language skill enables students to actively participate in discussion, presentation, and collaborative project. These activities can improve the quality of learning. The ability to speak clearly, convincingly, and persuasively is very important. Strong oral language skill helps students prepare for a future that requires effective communication in a variety of professional contexts. Listening and what is one of the most important skill for fluent speaking. Language development includes vocabulary selection, the ability to construct simple words, and the ability to organize simple and complex grammar. In the digital era, information is available in huge amounts through various media such as the internet, podcast, video, and social media. Good listening skill enable learners to absorb and process this information effectively. And then listening and speaking activities through this source can be included in learning according to the multiliteracy context so that it is more meaningful for students. The role of the teacher is always very important in helping learners overcome various obstacles that they may experience in developing speaking skill. The goal of multiliteracy learning for primary school students is to provide students with the skill necessary to function effectively in an increasingly complex and diverse society in terms of communication, understanding, and participation. The last for the conclusion. Listening activities do not focus on the acquisition of information, but rather on the entertainment aspect. In the speaking aspect, student skills are limited to speaking non-formally. A student oral language skill in the digital era are still limited to non-formal speaking skill. The speaking content is short from the shown scene, namely short drama, words of advice, food advice video, other content that is entertainment in nature. And then for the conclusion, listening and speaking activities actually through social media source can be included in learning according to the multiliteracy context so that it is more meaningful for students. They shown that learners not only learn to listen and speak from text read by the teacher, but also from other media that display image, graphic, audio, video, and other interactive media. Okay, that's all and the result of my study. Thank you for the attention and bye bye.